Hey guys, welcome back to Football Ninja Big Five Question. In this episode, we're going to talk about United thrashing Southampton 9-0. Joining me is Karthik. Hey Karthik, how are you?
Good, Amit. How are you? Must be very happy.
Yes, and we're going to start with the first question, Karthik. Usually a football game is a game of two halves, and this game was a game of two red cards. Let's talk about it first. How bad was the refereeing in this game?
It was. I'm not gonna argue against the first red card. It was a bad tackle. It was endangering the players. Health or whatever. Not gonna argue about that. That was a clear red card. But I
And
think
unfortunate debut as well.
unfortunate debut.
For 2
A
minutes.
debut to forget. But then the second red card, Bednarek. I don't think it was. I mean, whatever the new laws are or whatever it is. It was just sad to see. Although I mean, it was Southampton who were losing the game anyway. They're not going to win from that position. But then, you get a straight red. You're out for three games now, and
And like when you saw when we saw the entire process happening where
Yeah.
the referee himself went and saw. But do you think that then comes to ego, that because he initially gave a penalty and then if he can't go against himself and then give a red card, because that was not even close to red card.
I mean, see, we have seen penalties given and get a yellow card,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Although it was a clear goal scoring chance, but you also have to realize that it was a penalty. I'm not arguing against that. There was contact. It's
Correct,
a penalty,
yeah.
sure, right? But you also have to see that Bednarek was trying to get away from his man. At the end of, he ran towards him. He's trying to get away from him. So for me, it's not a red card for sure. It's a yellow card. You get a card. Clear chance of goal. You get a card, but then I don't know. It was surprising. I think it was surprising for everybody on the at least on the Southampton bench and players, and for Bednarek himself, who was technically laughing after he got the red card. But it's sad to see, and this is where we see people coming in and saying that VAR is sort of biased towards the top six or the big six
not
teams.
just that, isn't it ruining the entire emotion which VR came into picture, because there were a lot of referee issues that were happening, and it still continues. If end of the day that the referee has to take a call, why will he go against himself?
I mean, technically, if you see, yes, VAR has helped with offsides, and we're going to talk about that as well on this game. But it has helped a lot with offsides and goals given when it was an offside earlier. But I think apart from that, I think refereeing was better when there was no VAR, because right now I think referees also have in their mind that even if they give a wrong decision, there's always VAR to
back them up,
rectify that or to back them up. So I think that also plays a major role, but bad refereeing all around.
And we saw something very similar in Arsenal games as well.
Yeah.
And then that shows the consistent downfall of refereeing that is happening, especially in, as we say, the best the best league that is right now. We don't see that standard from referees now.
I think for the David Luiz red card, I did not even see a contact, or there is a very, very slight contact, and the player was actually looking for that. Or because David Luiz just ran across him, or he was right behind him. It's not in my opinion, that was not even a penalty, let alone a red card.
Red card.
So
That was straight red.
It was a straight red, and that's, I mean, it's just ruining the fun part.
And moving to the only goal that Southampton scored, and then that got disallowed by the offside. I'm a United fan, but I did not see that as an offside.
Alright, so there are two things I would talk about here. One is, first of all, it was not even an offside. Even if you're looking at his palm, there is still a part of the foot. I think it was Maguire.
Maguire.
Whose foot was actually beyond that
And
line.
even his hand, so we could
his
see.
hand,
Yeah.
And then the second thing is, I don't understand this, because sometimes you want to take the armpit as the as where
The reference
the reference for that, and now just because I don't know, for whatever reason they took the hand. So there are double standards that are happening, and I'm sure Ralph Hasenhüttl must be really, really pissed right now. Although I mean, they were not winning anyway, like I said. But then these decisions, when they go against you, it's very, very frustrating.
And also, if you see the first red card in the second minute of the game as well, obviously it was a red card, but as soon as the red card was shown, you could see the game basically was over for Southampton right there.
I mean, it does, right? I mean, you're playing an entire game, or almost an entire game with just 10 men. against a team like United. So your your morale is already going down there. But still, I think they, United just played well, to get the goals. Obviously, it was difficult for Southampton to come back from there or at least get a goal. But the goal they scored was good. It was a really nice goal from Jay Adams, but unfortunate.
Very unfortunate. And moving to the next question, Karthik. United finally winning at home with the big margin, 9-0. Fans are really happy. What do you think about this victory? I think this puts United in the top goal scoring team in Premier League right now with 46. And also in Europe, they are fourth now. I think just behind Inter, PSG, Bayern, and now United. Where do you put this?
I think there's another thing that they also have the most number of goals from open play this season.
Okay.
In the Premier League, which is 28, I think. Right behind, I think it's City, if I'm not wrong, 26. That's there. So that also, takes away from other people that they only score penalties. They have only had 5 penalties this season. Another thing is, to notice here is Bruno Fernandes actually, he did not score a goal in the last 5 games.
Yeah, this
Scores a goal with a penalty.
Yeah. And I think puts himself in the second most goal scorers line right now. I think he's 12 or just behind Salah. And I think he's third in giving assists now. This player is amazing for United.
I think he's the only player for United to be honest, and he's picked up the team, and we've spoken about this a lot in the previous podcast as well. I think another one we should mention is Luke Shaw's performance in this one. It was a great performance, and I think we're going to talk about players a little later. But as a team, I think this is going to do a lot of good for them. A good morale boost for them. Good win at home where they have been struggling a lot. This season, especially. So it's good. I think because of those red cards and because of all the controversy, Ole again is not going to get the praise that he sort of deserves. It's going to get overshadowed, but I think he's doing a pretty good job.
And if you see in terms of controversies, when we started this episode, we didn't start immediately with the 9-0 victory. We started with the controversy. It was so big.
Exactly.
And we saw in 9 goals, okay, one was own goal, but we saw 8 goals from a United team. Which was the favorite one?
Unfortunately, I'm going to say Martial's
volley, and then
I think that
assisted by Bruno.
I think that was a really good one. That I think was a standout goal for me. I think even Van Bissaka's first goal was pretty good.
And in that terms of he scoring his first goal at Old Trafford was big for them. And I think this also marks United first double they have done this season. I think they won away at Southampton in difficult conditions after 2-0 down and 3-2 victory. This was quite comfortable. And what about what about Cavani? I think this was his first goal at home as well. He had a good header. I think he's been that player and that's why he was picked in the playing 11 this time over Martial. What do you think? How was he on the day?
I think he's good. I think he doesn't have. I haven't, or the games that I've seen, I haven't seen a lot of PSG games to be honest. But whenever he's in a United shirt, what I've seen more of is he's had a good game. He's a hard-working guy. His work rate is amazing. And that's where I think Martial also gets a little behind him because Martial's work rate, we know it's not great, but Cavani, I think he's great. He pulls the team together. He wants them to go ahead, score goals, and he's always in the box. He's there at the right time, at the right place, and he's got the experience. So he's one of the best strikers for me.
And I was reading the stat about the previous managers in Man United. I think under Louis van Gaal, we had scored more than 5 goals twice. Same thing with David Moyes, and something very similar under Jose Mourinho as well. But under Ole, we have done this more than 8 times now. I'm not like, I know the number. The number is too big under Ole. But how, do you think that is because he knows what United can do, or he's not putting his thought or his mentality over a young team like how Jose usually does, or Louis van Gaal did? He had a strategy when he came to United. Do you think that is working good for the team per se?
I think it is. I think what what is also happening, and this is just my opinion, is Ole is a fairly new manager. This is just a second team. He's just managed a team in Norway, but I think he also gives a lot of freedom to players to play how they want, or to put in their ideas, and play that game, or how they should approach the game. So I think he's as of now it's working pretty well. I think what is sort of missing is teams still don't fear that United is the team, and we have to beat. That's not there still. I think that is something that they have to build again, because that was the case against Alex. Right? They were scared, right, to go to United or when they're playing against them. I think right now it's just black or white.
Yeah, because I think the term that you are missing is consistency.
Exactly.
That's exactly what we saw against Sheffield United, where I think Southampton is far better team than Sheffield United, but we could not finish them off. We could not at least hold on to 1-1 draw. We saw that, and then we see something like this. We saw a 0-0 draw against Arsenal as well, and that was again a very uneventful game which just went on. But this game we saw a lot of. I think the team comes together when they see manager is in trouble. I think that urgency is required, where I think the management is behind Ole to get fired, and then that's when the players will realize they have to put forward the best of them.
I think that's what's happening. Yeah.
So moving to the next question, Karthik. Southampton 9 goals for them. This is the second time for them it's happening. It happened last season against Leicester as well. Where does the team go from? I think they're the best team to. This has happened to them already, so they know which mindset they have to be now in the next game. But what went wrong for them?
I think it was, firstly the red card, like I said, it already takes the morale down. But I think United just were too good for them, to score 9 goals against them. And I think, like you said, they already know that feeling of, getting 9 goals against them. And I think last time around they did bounce pretty well, bounce back from that. Got out of the relegation. They were in relegation, I think, that time, or around that time they were still around fighting relegation, and they finished at a pretty good position. And I think they're still in the top 10. I think they are gonna bounce back from this. They are not a bad team. We know they can do well.
I think that's when it's gonna hit them hard, because I think this team is much better than the last team, which considered 9 goals the last season. And this team, if you see in terms, it's actually a better performing team.
Yeah.
And then they're getting 9-0 thrash. That is something which probably might affect them more.
I think that sort of happens. Like if you just go back to United's 6-2 loss against Tottenham, and that sort of did good for United as well. And I think that's gonna be the same. You have bad days. It was one of their worst days probably.
Yeah.
But I think they're gonna bounce back from that.
उसका नाम क्या है bro defender का?
Bednarik.
A bad day for Bednarik again, scoring an own goal and then the penalty, and then a red card. I think that sealed the game for Southampton in certain ways.
It did. I think that did. A bad day for him, of course. I mean, but like I said, it's
very unfortunate.
Very unfortunate. Like it's not a red card. Penalty, yes, that happens. I mean, you just had a bad day at the office. That's
moving to an interesting question, Karthik, that I came up with. Let's talk about the players who joined United, and there was a lot of hype around them. Let's put Van de Beek. Van de Beek came in the second half. I think he replaced Luke Shaw and came in, but did not do that well in terms of the game that he played. He was there, but when he came in, there was a lot of hype whether he would be played, or there'll be Pogba playing, or there'll be Bruno Fernandes playing. Do you think that hype has kind of down, because I think he has got some chances? I'm not saying he has got a lot of chances, but whatever that is offered to him, he's not able to perform well.
He is. I mean, he's still, I think he's still settling in, in the Premier League, and then as well as he has not got a lot of chances to play, in the Premier League. He's mostly been used as a substitute, or been used in games, which is, you have a big game coming in, so you play.
He came in for PSG as well.
He came in for PSG as well.
At the time of losing, he was substituted.
So I mean that's the thing. I mean I think he has to get more chances. He's still settling in. It's a new country. It's a new league. The best league, as I say.
Yeah.
In the world. So I think he needs time, like a lot of other players.
I can totally understand. As a foreign player coming into an English Premier League, it is difficult. Yeah, I can understand.
Yeah, so I think we know that the boy has got the talent.
Yeah.
He's a talented guy, so he should do well.
Moving to Alex Telles, he was down with COVID, but I think because of him threatening that position, Luke Shaw is playing amazingly well.
For me, he's one of the best signings of the season.
Yeah.
Just because he's made Luke Shaw perform in ways that we have not seen.
Or what we were expecting him to see, I think he's making those runs. He's in those positions. He's giving those crosses, which might what we were expecting from him initially. Now that he sees there is an actual threat to his position, he's performing really well. I think we saw that in the last game also. He gave an amazing assist as well.
I think he just needs some consistency is all, and that's the only thing missing right now from Luke Shaw. But I think the way he performed, against Southampton was exceptional.
Moving to the last question, Karthik, about the teams. Let's talk about United right now. Joint number one with City. Obviously, there's a lot of point difference there, but I think 44 points. City has 2 games in hand. United plays Everton next. They have a game against West Ham. That is FA Cup, obviously. Then they play against West Brom. See, the thing with United is consistency is an issue. So if they play how they played today, I think there are 2 more games where they can double over the opponents. They already won against Everton. They can do it again. And obviously West Brom.
So Everton, I think it's not going to be an easy game. First of all, it's Ancelotti. He would have probably noticed a lot of things last time around, and he's going to come up with a good game plan. So it's going to be a difficult game. West Brom again, it's going to be very tricky. It's Big Sam this time. That it was not the case last time around. So and he's known to suck the points out of the big teams, Big Sam. So I think they should win. They if they play like today, they are definitely gonna be able to get the 6 points from those 2 games. But it's not gonna be an easy one for them.
Yeah, I think this game would be tricky. I think the first half would kind of we would be able to figure out how if United will win or not. Usually it happens to understand if United. The problem with Everton game is it's at home. So it's at Old Trafford, so it's going to be a difficult game. I feel. I just feel that this win might also propagate players to go for the glory. Hopefully they do. I don't want to jinx anything right now, or I don't want to claim anything right now. Moving to Southampton, Karthik, they're gonna play against Newcastle next. That's going to be an easy game, I feel, for Southampton. A good bounce back game, do you think?
It should be. It should be. I think. A fairly easy game. Newcastle again. I think any team in the Premier League is not an easy game. It's always tricky, and we have seen that time and again with if you have a game against Sheffield United, you think you're going to win it because they're at the bottom of the table. They haven't had to win, but there are days that happen. So it's not going to be an easy game, but it's a fairly easy game as compared to if you're playing a top 6 or a top 10 team. But I think it should be a good game for Southampton to redeem themselves from that 9-0 loss.
But I think now we saw the game against Newcastle against Crystal Palace. From a winning position, they lost the game. Shelby scoring that amazing goal for Newcastle, and obviously your man Cahill scoring the winning goal. Do you think how difficult it will be for Newcastle, if you talk from their perspective, to win this game?
It is difficult. I think they're also going through a couple of injuries right now, and it's been difficult for a lot of teams because of the crunch and the number of games that they are playing. And I think Southampton is going to give their everything to win this game because they're going to be not just not their morale would be a little down, but they'll also be pissed, I think, because they lost 9-0, and they're gonna do everything in their power to win this one, and they know that they can win this one. So I think it's gonna be difficult for Newcastle.
And Southampton, after Newcastle plays against Wolves, both in FA Cup and then Premier League, there'll be back-to-back games. Wolves is turning out to be a good team. I don't know from where they've got a win against Arsenal.
It's the 2 red cards.
Oh yeah, again story of 2 red cards. That'll be a difficult game for Southampton, Karthik, at least the FA Cup knockout.
It will be, and I think Wolves again. Again that the consistency is missing for Wolves. They are a good team. If you look at the team from the back till right away to the front, it's a very good team. But then there is some sort of consistency that is missing. If you look at the game against Chelsea, they played exceptionally well. Arsenal, they played well, but there are certain games they just lose for.
And I think also going through a lot of injuries right now.
Yeah,
so,
I think
missing Raul Jimenez.
Raul Jimenez, they're missing. Yeah, they have a new striker who's just come in January. So yeah, I think it's gonna be difficult, but I think Wolves or I'm gonna go still with Southampton to get the win against Wolves.
Let's see that, and I think Premier League right now is so lol. You can't really make any expectation or any predictions right now. So it's very interesting to talk about these games. With that, finishing this little episode. Thank you so much, guys, for listening to us. My name is Amit.
My name is Karthik. Thanks a lot.
Yeah. Bye. Bye, guys. Cheers.